Namaskar, welcome to Express News. First, the national news. The Indian delegation is actively participating at Davos World Economic Forum 2026, where India's Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav has defended India's AI capabilities. The third day of the WEF is witnessing a discussion on India's transition from emerging to pivotal and its growing influence across trade, value chains and technology. Organized by the Confederation of Indian Industry or CII, the event brings together government representatives and corporate decision makers to examine how sustainability objectives can be operationalized across the real economy. India's Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav participated in a session on Can India become the third largest economy in the world? The session focused on the opportunities, ease of doing business in India. Ashwini Vaishnav held a meeting with Google Cloud CEO Thomas Kurian and his team. Google has announced an investment of $15 billion over 5 years to build a 1 gigawatt AI data center hub in Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. On the sidelines, the minister also held a meeting with IBM CEO Arvind Krishna at Davos. Ashwini Vaishnav also spoke to Meta's Chief Global Affairs Officer Joel Kaplan at the World Economic Forum. During the summit, Gujarat Deputy Chief Minister Harsh Sanghvi met key leaders from OpenAI and Cognizant to discuss integrating artificial intelligence and expanding digital infrastructure to drive the next wave of industrial growth in Gujarat. A lesson on strategic leadership in the bio-revolution, Women Powering Innovation and Global Solutions, was also held at the forum, where the former Union Minister Smriti Irani said that biotechnology is transforming how we respond to climate challenges. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis held an interaction with Hewlett-Packard Enterprise Chairperson Patricia F. Russo. Senior Vice President and Managing Director for India Bhavna Agarwal was also present at this meeting. Vice President C.P. Radhakrishnan of India visits Karnataka to participate as the chief guest of the 7th commemoration day of Sri Shivakumara Maharaj Mahaswamiji, at Sri Siddha Ganga Mutt in Tumkuru. Northeast Indian states of Manipur, Tripura and Meghalaya are celebrating their Statehood Day on Wednesday. President Draupadi Murmu on Wednesday extended warm greetings to the people of these three northeastern states. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also greeted people of the three northeastern states, Manipur, Tripura and Meghalaya, on their Statehood Day. In a social media post, the Prime Minister expressed pride about the role played by the people of Manipur in India's development. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar held a meeting with Spain's Minister of Foreign Affairs, the European Union and the Cooperation Minister José Manuel Alvarez in Delhi. In his opening remarks, Dr. Jaishankar lauded India and Spain's friendly relations rooted in shared democratic values and respect for multilateralism and a rules-based world order. India is hosting the International Democracy and Election Management Conference 2026 from the 21st to the 23rd of January. The three-day international conference is organized jointly by the India International Institute of Democracy and Election Management and IDEA. Around 100 representatives from more than 70 countries will participate, and about 42 election management institutions are taking part. The conference will include an inaugural session, EMB leaders plenary and EMB working group meetings. Republic Day parade rehearsals are ongoing in the national capital. The Indian Army contingents took part in the Republic Day rehearsals of 2026 at the Kartavya Path. Major highlights: the debut of the long-range anti-ship hypersonic glide missile. Traffic restrictions remain in place in central Delhi due to the movement of troops and equipment. Authorities have advised commuters to follow advisories and urged the public to cooperate for smooth Republic Day preparations. The ships of the Indian Navy's first training squadron INS Tir, INS Shardul and INS Sujata, along with ICGS Sarathi, made a port call at Belawan in Indonesia on Tuesday. The squadron was accorded a warm welcome by the Indonesian Navy with a ceremonial reception featuring traditional dance performance. The ships are presently on a training deployment in Southeast Asia. The Indian equity indices ended on a negative note. The Nifty was down 75 points, settled at 25,157.50. The Sensex at close was down 270 points, 81,909.63. The Indian rupee rose 5 paise to close at 91.6 against the US dollar on Wednesday. Gold prices in the capital hit record highs once again on Wednesday. 24-karat gold jumped by rupees, 643, and it reached 1,54,950 per 10 grams. Silver prices also reached all-time high for Wednesday, now retailing at staggering 3,25,000 per kilogram in Delhi. Crude oil slipped on the MCX futures, dropped 5,438 rupees per barrel as traders reacted to a projected US supply surplus. Union Textiles Minister Giriraj Singh reviewed raw jute availability amid tight supply. Measures announced to support farmers and industry include intensifying de-hoarding drives. Titan unveiled Chambers of Time at India Watch Weekend 2026, highlighting India's horological ascent. And the two-day event, in fact, brought together global and Indian watchmaking voices. Netflix stock fell over 5% Tuesday after forecasting flat revenue this quarter. Netflix posted $2.4 billion of profit on $12 billion of revenue last quarter, projecting $12.1 billion this quarter. Netflix has surpassed 325 million subscribers, with Nielsen reporting a 10% rise in December viewership. The Stranger Things finale drew 15 billion viewing minutes, while the NFL Christmas games and Knives Out 3 boosted engagement. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen signaled at the World Economic Forum in Davos that a historic free trade agreement between the EU and India is hitting its final stretch. The US President Donald Trump has landed in Switzerland to attend the World Economic Forum in Davos, where he's indicated that he'll work something out over Greenland to make all sides happy. European leaders, rattled by Trump's latest global gambit, are looking to present a unified front in Davos, as CEOs have warned against an emotional response to the US president's ambition to take over Greenland. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu accepted President Trump's invitation to join the Board of Peace, an initiative that aims initially to end the conflict in Gaza. Azerbaijan also accepted the invitation from Trump to join the Board of Peace. Azerbaijan and Armenia were at war over the Nagorno-Karabakh mountainous region, and they reached a US-brokered peace agreement last August. The French President Macron said that the European Union should not bend to the law of the strongest after Trump has threatened to impose massive tariffs on French wine and champagne. President Trump has refused to attend the emergency G7 meeting proposed by Macron amid rising tensions over Washington's push to acquire Greenland. Trump said the US has taken 50 million barrels of oil out of Venezuela and is selling part of it on the open market. Trump also said that he's considering involving Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado in some capacity in her country. Venezuela's interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, said that the country has received $300 million from oil sales. The first proceeds from Trump's announced 50 million barrel oil supply deal with Caracas. Syria announced a ceasefire with the Kurdish forces in the northeast on Tuesday and gave them 4 days to negotiate reintegration into the central government, which their main ally, the United States, urged them to accept. The US has planned to reduce the number of personnel stationed within several key NATO command centers. The US will eliminate roughly 200 positions from the NATO entities. President Trump said that the United States and NATO will come to an agreement on future of Greenland that will satisfy both sides. Trump said this, there was no going back, in fact, he said, on his goal to control Greenland. The U.S. State Department has approved the potential sale of maritime patrol and reconnaissance aircraft and lightweight torpedoes to Singapore in a deal that's valued at estimated $2.3 billion. A Russian air attack cut power, and this is to more than 1 million Kiev residents, and impacted substations carrying power from Ukraine's atomic plants on Tuesday. Nigeria's police have rejected reports that worshippers were abducted from churches in Kaduna State on Sunday, calling the claims false and accusing unnamed actors of spreading misinformation to incite unrest. A Japanese court sentenced the former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's killer to life in prison. The court charged Tetsuya Yamagami for killing Abe with a handmade or a homemade gun during the influential politician's campaign rally in Nara in July of 2022. A commuter train derailed after a containment wall fell on the track due to heavy rains near the Spanish city of Barcelona, killing the driver and seriously injuring 4 passengers. Thousands of U.S. workers and students marched through cities and university campuses in opposition to immigration policies of U.S. President Trump. Peruvian President Jose Heri has asked for an appearance before Congress to clarify meetings that he held with a Chinese businessman outside of his official agenda, which are being investigated by the public prosecutor. Mexico has sent another 37 alleged members of the criminal organizations to the United States. The handover of alleged cartel members is the third major transfer in the past year, and it brings the total number of transferred inmates to 92. Time for a break now on Express News. Keep watching DD India.
स्वागत आहे टू मॅग्नेटिक महाराष्ट्र.
One of India's newest states. One of India's old.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. The India Meteorological Department reported dense fog this morning across parts of North India. Dense fog blanketed Delhi on Wednesday morning, disrupting flight operations and causing delays at the airport. The IMD said that the dense fog conditions prevailed across Delhi, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Chandigarh and nearby areas. Reduced visibility during the early hours affected commuting and transportation services. Cold wave conditions are being reported in Himachal Pradesh, while isolated pockets of Uttarakhand have experienced ground frost on Wednesday. Himachal Pradesh may soon see an end to its prolonged dry spell. The Shimla Weather Office has forecast very active western disturbance, bringing rain to the plains and also snowfall in the higher reaches from Wednesday night. The weather remained cold and dry across Rajasthan during the last 24 hours, with fog at several places Fatehpur in Sikkar district recorded the lowest minimum temperature at 4.9 degrees Celsius. Jaipur stood at 10.6 degrees. In the northeastern states, the IMD reported a prevailing dry spell across Sikkim following the withdrawal of the southwest monsoon in October last year. Gangtok Weather Office confirms consistently dry weather conditions across the state. Abnormally dry conditions have left foliage dry, sparking forest fires in several areas. Heavy winds worsened the spread, but swift response by the army contained the Kupup village fire in Sikkim. Storm Harry lashed northern Catalonia with torrential rains hitting Girona province hardest. Severe flooding was reported in Palau Sator, while Girona's Onyar River rose dangerously close to homes. A heavy dust storm swept across Libya, reducing visibility and forcing suspension of flights at Tripoli's Mitiga and Benghazi, Benina airports. Benghazi was covered in dense orange haze. Heavy rains flooded roads in Tunis, killing 4 people. Officials described the situation as critical as Tunisia faced its heaviest rainfall in over 70 years. In East Africa, Mozambique suffered its worst flooding in decades. At least 114 people have died since October, including 51 since Christmas Eve. UNICEF reported more than 500,000 people in southern and central Mozambique have been hit by flooding. Roads and health facilities also are damaged, cutting off Maputo from the rest of the country. Mozambique's National Institute of Disaster Risk Management and Reduction rescued stranded residents from rooftops and trees as well in flood-hit Gaza province. Weeks of heavy rain and storms across Mozambique and South Africa have already claimed at least 150 lives. In Japan, Takayama in Gifu Prefecture has created a striking sub-zero forest by spraying water onto trees and mountain slopes. At 1,000 meters altitude, freezing weather transforms the landscape into shimmering ice sculptures each winter season. In Turkey, Hakkari's district winter, it reveals nature's resilience. The Nehil River partially froze from the Chilo Mountains, and it continues to sustain wildlife. London's Canary Wharf Winter Lights Festival returned for its 10th edition, featuring 16 light installations by global artists. The free outdoor festival, themed Dreamscape, showcases immersive artworks including AI-powered displays. Aurora lights shimmering over Earth were captured from the International Space Station during the strongest solar storm in 2 decades. The display featured rare red glows caused by charged solar particles. Young piano students aged 5 to 12 performed a mini recital at Atabari Ski Center in Artvin in Turkey, blending music and winter sports as piano melodies echoed across the snow-covered ski resort, delighting visitors. Museums are using digital tools to connect history with younger generations. At Hanoi, exhibition showcases innovative ways to present historical narratives. AI and QR codes enhance accuracy and audience engagement. 2 UNESCO-listed Anatolian traditions met on the same stage in Turkey. Sanliurfa Sira Nights and Danusube Barana tradition showcase music and social heritage. India Post has opened its second NGen, that's N and GEN, post office in Jammu and Kashmir, and the new facility is located at the University of Kashmir in Srinagar. The second NGen post office aims to provide modern technology-driven postal services. The initiative, in fact, enhances accessibility for students, staff, and locals. In Mayala Dutharai, Tamil Nadu, farmers there began summer paddy cultivation, filling the fields with folk songs that mark the start of the agricultural season, keeping up local traditions. Bodh Gaya witnessed a grand Gyan Yatra from Dangeshwari with thousands of Buddhist monks and also devotees from multiple countries participating in the spiritual procession. In Surat, in Gujarat, students marked the Ayodhya Ram Temple anniversary. A total of 1,008 students formed a human chain to celebrate the event. The chain, it highlighted devotion, unity, and the importance of cultural celebrations. Entertainment news now, and the English singer and songwriter Harry Styles has announced the release of his new single, Aperture, and it's set to drop on Thursday. The song will be the first track from his upcoming fourth album, which is titled Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally, which will release on the 6th of March. Rapper ASAP Rocky has announced dates for the Don't Be Dumb World Tour, set to begin on the 27th of May in Chicago. The 42-day tour will span North America and Europe, ending in Paris in September. Ticket sales go live on the 27th of January. American horror film The Strangers Chapter 3 will hit Indian theatres on February 6, directed by Rennie Harlan. The film is the final part of a trilogy and also the fifth installment in the Strangers franchise. Collective Artists Network has unveiled the first slate under History Verse, featuring 8 history-inspired projects. The lineup includes 3 theatrical films and 2 web series. Filmmakers Sujit Sarkar and Vikramaditya Motwane are presenting a short film titled Thursday Special, directed by the National Award winner Varun Tandon. And this film will release on January 29 on OTT. Bollywood star Shahid Kapoor's romantic action drama O Romeo trailer has been unveiled, and this film is slated for a theatrical release on the 13th of February. The Odia film Bindu Saga is going to release in cinemas worldwide on the 10th of April. It's directed by Abhishek Swain and it stars National Award winner Prakruti Mishra. The first look motion poster of Tovino Thomas' pan-Indian period drama Palli Chattambi has been unveiled, and this film also is set for a worldwide theatrical release on the 9th of April in multiple languages. Actor Rasha Thadani has made her singing debut with the song Chap Tilak, and this is for an upcoming film Laike Laika. Okay, let's get to the sports news now. In India's T20 World Cup 2026 preparations began in Nagpur as New Zealand chose to field first. Surya Kumar Yadav's team will aim to bounce back from the ODI defeat. The All India Football Federation on Tuesday confirmed the appointment of Amelia Valverde as the new head coach of the Indian senior women's national team. ICC has granted BCB one final day to consult the Bangladesh government on India travel for the 2026 T20 World Cup. If refusal persists, Scotland will replace them as decided in the meeting. Meanwhile, Real Madrid cruised to a 6-1 victory over Monaco at the Santiago Bernabeu. Norwegian club Bodo Glimt pulled off a stunning upset by beating Manchester City 3-1 and secured their first ever win in the competition. Arsenal set a new club record in the UEFA Champions League with their 7th consecutive win, beating Inter Milan 3-1 at San Siro. Tottenham Hotspurs extended their unbeaten run at home to 24 with a 2-0 win over 10-man Borussia Dortmund. The German Olympic Sports Confederation has confirmed the nomination of a record 183 athletes for the upcoming Milan Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. Liverpool, the head coach Arne Slot welcomed star player Mohamed Salah back into the squad ahead of his team's Champions League clash against Marseille. Thousands of jubilant supporters flooded the streets of Dakar as Senegal's national football team held a victory parade through the capital following their Africa Cup of Nations triumph. In the Indonesia Masters, two-time Olympic medalist PV Sindhu beat Manami Suizu of Japan 22-20, 21-18. It took 53 minutes. This is the first round. Meanwhile, Srikanth battled from 1 hour and he battled for 1 hour and 12 minutes and he got the better of the world number 22, Koki Watanabe. In the Australian Open, top seed Aryna Sabalenka secured an easy 6-3, 6-1 straight sets win over the qualifier by Zhu Xian. Third seed Goff was equally clinical against Serbia's Olga Danilovic, and who had ended Venus Williams' campaign in round 1. Men's world number 1 Carlo Alcaraz, he started his bid for the career Grand Slam that he is looking for with a 3-set win over the home hope Adam Walton. Well, that's all we have in Express News. Thank you very much for watching. Namaskar.